What up, everyone? Today I'm just going to be going through a general market update. So we'll go through the stock markets, let you guys know what I think about what's going to be happening with the market moving forward. So starting with the S&P 500 over here, just a regular inside day. I mean, we've been having crazy ranges. I'm talking about like 2 to 5% a day. See with the VIX at 30. This is typical action, but today, first compression, and we're compressing over here with this trend line. This breakout over here probably sends us to around 5,700 on SPX. We break out of this downtrend. I'm thinking we probably go up like this, then come back down to like 5,500, retest back higher towards a new all-time high. So, yeah, I do believe we get somewhat of a V-shaped recovery. I do think we're gonna head back to highs here as long as we see deals coming through, as long as we see China and US potentially signaling that they're gonna talk, and we have the tax cuts coming in soon. So that's very bullish for markets because corporations get taxed lower, which is good for small caps, and just anyone making, I believe, under 150K will be taxed less, so more money is going to be flowing into the markets as savings grow. So that's looking pretty good. We're gonna look at QQQ. Same thing with tech, looking a little better. So we still have this gap over here to fill. Kind of a falling wedge. I know we broke down here, but we regained this trend line, this long-term trend line. And I mean, breaking over this downtrend over here, we could probably target around, I'd say like 490 first. We reclaim the 200-day moving average, and then we can work our way up back to highs. So as long as we don't get like crazy bad news, I think we are looking very good. And the reason why I say this is because Bitcoin is looking amazing. Bitcoin has been holding up relatively well versus the market. Now, I know the Qs are down like 26, 27% from the highs. Bitcoin was down like 32% from the highs. So for a high beta asset, that shows a lot. And that shows that we still have, which I've been talking about for a long time now, one more explosive leg up for the final blow off top in the market and crypto. So we obviously need the market to behave for crypto to follow because it's not going to do it by itself. But I do believe things are looking good. Now we've broke out of this downtrend over here on Bitcoin and it's been a leader. So we can expect the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 to break out as well. So we broke down from this downtrend and yeah, Bitcoin's looking pretty good. Bounced off this longer term trend line over here. And yeah, Bitcoin, I do expect us to see around 128K, I think sometime this summer, but we'll have to wait and see. And the reason why I do think the explosive move up starts relatively soon is because MSTR is actually a leading indicator on Bitcoin. So as you guys can see over here in 2023, before the leg higher, MSTR had basically a triple bottom over here. Yeah, so it had a triple bottom over here and then a higher low, and then we exploded up, right? Now, let me show you guys BTC. BTC in 2023 over here. Yeah, hold on. MSTR. When was this in 2023? So it was in Q3, Q4. So BTC over here, yeah, right over here in September. So MSTR said that this is a fake breakdown since it had a higher low and then we exploded up. We had a huge leg higher. All right. And then MSTR also predicts the tops. So as you guys can see here, let's talk about this one over here in December. December and January. So we had our top over here, and then we had a top over here, right? Look at MSTR. It topped November 2024. So we had that top and it never made a higher high, meaning that it was a leading indicator. Now, obviously, Bitcoin probably lags a bit, as you guys can see, but where were we November 20? So we were like around here, or probably this day, or yeah, somewhere in here, right? So Bitcoin went and made two higher highs, but MSTR didn't. So that meant it was a fake top, and then we dumped, right? So again, we see the same thing here with from 2023. We have a low, we have a low, a higher low, and we're breaking out of this downtrend over here. And yeah, I mean, MSTR is leading the way higher, telling us that risk on is going to be coming soon. I know it's an ugly candle today, but it can be ignored for now. The larger time frames on like the weekly are looking very good and should propel us higher. I do think we could retest these highs sometime this summer, but we'll have to wait and see. Now, let's look at ETH because without ETH, we won't have our alt season. So we have this mini downtrend over here that it's not been able to break. We keep having bear flag breakdown, bear flag breakdown, bear flag, but then this time could be different. Also another bear flag over here. So we break out of this downtrend, break over, I want to say 1900, over 1900, we could send back very, very quickly back to 3500 on ETH. And then a breakout there, a breakout over 3500 sends it to probably like 6K. So we won't get ahead of ourselves. Let's stick from low target to low target, and then we'll raise the targets later if it still looks good. So that's ETH, and for us to have a nice blow off top, a nice final leg of the bull run with alts leading, we need ETH to behave. So this is very important. Now, the total two is having falling wedge and having a hard time to break out over here, but it's getting very tight, very, very tight, and I do expect it to break out, I want to say later this week, if not max next week. This is getting super tight, and I think we're just waiting on some news here to send us. As for others, oh, that's invalidated. Yeah, we could do falling wedge like that from this long-term trend line from the beginning of the bull market. So it's not really behaving well here, but let's check the weekly, see if it broke down. So we broke down, regained it, and now it's just hovering. So I think this week and next week are very big decision makers, and we should see some positive reaction is my bias, but could be negative reaction. We'll have to wait and see, but this is also looking pretty decent. Now, one thing on why I'm pretty confident we'll get a nice blow off top or leg up, just another leg on Bitcoin and crypto as a whole is this M2. So China's been stimulating since Q3 or Q4 of 2024, and China always leads US and just global money supply, excess money supply follows. So the Fed even hinted that they could pull out QE. I mean, they reduced QT last meeting. We have a Fed meeting in, I believe, 3 weeks. They could completely negate QT and end it, and then that's the start of stealth QE. So stealth QE means that the balance sheet does grow a tiny bit. They don't call it officially QE, but that's a hint. And China stimulating historically is 100% accurate. The US usually stimulates not too far after. So M2, the money supply in the world, has broken out, and Bitcoin tends to follow this 100% of the time. So we were sideways in 2024, M2 broke out, and Bitcoin followed. Now M2 topped, Bitcoin topped right after, and then we came down, or sorry, Bitcoin topped, M2 topped right after. Typically, you see around 70 days to 110 days diversion between the both. So M2 always leads and then Bitcoin follows. So we bottomed at around, I believe, mid-March over here in M2, and then we broke past the previous high. So this is going to continue going up, in my opinion. China injected more money in this week with their currency weakening from these tariffs. I do believe they're going to need to be pumping a lot of money into their economy so it doesn't shut down. And with how the bonds are reacting in the States over here, and how the bonds are reacting in the States, does lead me to believe that at least QT will end, if not a tiny bit of QE, or the Treasury is going to step in and inject some liquidity as well. So either way, we're going to get some liquidity injected, and Bitcoin's going to react very well to it. And I'm pretty confident in this. So keep an eye on the M2. It keeps making new highs, so I'm very confident Bitcoin will follow. Just the final thing over here, the extreme. We are still in extreme fear on the fear and greed index, so that's good to see. It means not a lot of market participants at the moment, and we could expect a violent leg higher, sending us to greed and extreme greed and new highs on Bitcoin before we get max FOMO and start exiting positions. So, yeah, that's just my overall market update. Obviously, there's still one more hour for the market to close, but things are looking pretty quiet. Even the news front, not too hectic at the moment. So, hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to answer. If you guys like this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. It does help out a lot, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.